What's up, YouTube? Got a special one for you today. This is a pair of WM Beijing boots. You can find them on Instagram. They go by WM1978_boots. Or you can email or DM Peter directly at Bootgazer. These are their Paratrooper boot on the 115 NR last. So I'll talk about these boots. I will talk about the last, the ordering process, finishing, comfort, all that, right? So I'll try to keep this as short as possible. These boots are very, very well made. These are, I would say, more akin to a like dress boot than a, you know, Pacific Northwest style logger boot. These are made in Maryam waxed horsebutt. This is the asphalt color, or asphato. They got kind of some green tones, they got some brown tones, but overall it's a gray, and man, they look so cool. Not a ton of grain. There's definitely some character in the leather. They do scratch pretty easy, but since they are so waxed, you can see that just went away immediately. If they do scrape a little bit, it's really easy to brush and rub it out. I've worn these 3 or 4 times since getting them, and they're so comfortable. I really, really love these boots. They have a really good toe profile. You can see just the shape of that toe. I'll do the top down view. It's a really nice shape, really nice rounded toe. Finishing is insane on these. These boots are fully hand cut. Uppers are hand sewn. They are hand lasted. They are hand welted, fully hand finished. There's really, I think, the sewing machine and maybe a little bit of sanding, but from what I've seen, they do most of the sanding by hand also, more like how a dress shoemaker does it. Check out that, look at that heel, how nicely that's finished off, rounded like that. I mean, you don't find this really at this price point too often. You don't find this in the heritage boot space very often. Okay, let me run down the specs real quick. These are on the 115 NR last. That's just what they call it. It is a pretty flat toe last. You can see a good bit of arch support there. These have a unstructured toe. Again, these are in the Maryam waxed horsebutt asphalt leather. These have like a beige contrast upper stitching, antique eyelets, unstructured toe, I said that, brown welt stitch, single row, 270-degree flat welt, block heel, dark brown antique edge, leather sole, Vibram top lift, Dr. Sole basket weave toppy. I think that's pretty much it. These things are made to measure. So when you place an order, you'll get the instructions on what and how to measure your feet with. They also, that's the first time I've ever had a maker do this, but they also request photos of your feet from the sides and from the back to see if the angle of your ankle, if you have like a pronation or supplination, I think it's called. So it's pretty cool, and they know what they're doing, I'll tell you that much, because these things are so incredibly comfortable and such a good fit. The best fit I've ever had out of the box with something made to order overseas. Most of my experience has been with like Indonesian makers, and they have great finishing, great designs, great leathers, customizable to the moon, but fit is kind of a known thing. It's a gamble but the people in the workshop at WM, they just really know what they're doing. These things are incredible. The color, the shape, the finishing, they're so nice. And so one thing I wanted to talk about was the arch support. So it's pretty cool. These have like a really beveled waist, right? Okay, you can see how wide that ball is and then how much it tapers down right there for the waist. And you can see from this view, you can see how much this is tapered in. So a lot of times boots will kind of just come more straight down and you won't see this much of the upper tucking under that waist, under that instep, or the arch of your foot, not the instep, sorry, under the arch of your foot. And so you can see from that bottom view how much that upper tucks under. And that really helps with the, I would say like perceived feel of the arch support. Along with that, these have the insole comes up really high. It's a molded insole, and then the arch is built up also on the inside. So normally on just a flat footbed, this upper would tuck under and this would be soft. This would just be the upper leather right here. You'd be able to push in like you can here, but it's hard. It is hard up until this point right here, right where the tip of my finger, that's where that hardness ends. And that's because that insole wraps up. Okay, so I'll try to get a shot of that on the inside. Might need to grab a light here to be able to see that. I'll try to unlace these guys. Okay, so I'll try to get this camera to focus in there. So right there, so that little bit of black material you see. Let me see. Give me one sec, guys. Let me get a light. So that little bit of black leather right there that you see, that is that harder piece I'm talking about. And that is a piece, an extra piece on top of the footbed that helps build that arch up. And you can see that faint line of kind of the contour of it. You see that lining in there. So the shafts are unlined. The inside heel counter pocket is rough out, which is really nice. I wish more people would do that than a smooth leather. But you can see that built up arch support, and all of that lends to these things being insanely comfortable when it comes to the arch. They are just simply some of the best boots I have felt on foot, and the most arch I've felt pretty much outside of Pacific Northwest brands like Whites and such. It's no secret I've owned a bunch of those. I like my Vibergs, but they do not have a ton of arch support. I end up having to to use arch inserts in those a lot, and they are comfy, but this is out of the box some of the best I have experienced. So I apologize. Looks like my camera's having trouble with the colors now that I went all dark on it. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I pretty much just wanted, I'm no expert in this boot. They are a pretty new brand still, but I really just wanted to kind of show them off, give you guys some visuals to see. It is a cool boot. I would say a good alternative to, that Viberg style, a little more elevated casual boot, military inspired, but with dress shoe level finishing, and pretty quick wait time. They're only about I think 4 to 8 weeks, depending on you know, the model and how quick you are in response. They have, I think, about 30 different leathers in stock at the moment. So hit them up on Instagram, place your order, because these are sweet boots.